Hi InnerTubes. I wanted to give you a quick overview of what it looks like to become a candidate for a political party, the process that you go through, and what you receive once you're officially verified. So let's take a look. The first thing you want to do when you become a candidate for a political party is that you're going to get a form from Elections Canada. This is my filled out copy of the form, so it has a lot of extra information with it. And you're filling in a lot of personal information about yourself. As a candidate for a federal election, there are three main things that you need. You need an official agent to manage the finances of your campaign and to record and report on any donations and things like that. You need an auditor. This is a certified accountant who's able to verify that all of your finances are done correctly. And then you need, of course, a candidate who is eligible to be a candidate for the riding and who manages to collect 100 signatures of people who live in the riding and are eligible to vote, supporting his candidacy. So you've got a form like this. You need to fill in all the information. You've got these are the oaths that were signed when I submitted the paperwork here. These verify the consent of the candidate to participate in the election, the witness that the candidate is who the candidate claims to be, the witness that the signatures were properly obtained. If you're running on behalf of a political party, you also need an official letter from the leader of that party endorsing your candidacy. Because I'm running for the Pirate Party of Canada, this is an official letter from Mikkel Paulsen, our party leader, endorsing me as candidate. You need a letter from your auditor, officially agreeing to be your auditor. And then when you submit the paperwork, after you've collected your 100 signatures of everybody here, you collect more than 100 just to be safe in case someone don't check out. So I collected about 120, that's probably on the lower end. A lot of people collect 150 or something like that. And then the candidate has to make a deposit of $1,000 for the campaign. This deposit is refunded once all the proper paperwork is submitted after the election. So it's not a fee, but it does encourage candidates to follow the proper procedures. It's a pretty big hit if you don't follow all the rules. In addition, if you don't follow all the rules properly, you can actually be barred from being a candidate in the future. That's in the Elections Canada Act. Quick glance at all those signatures there. So once that's done, and that paperwork is followed with the returning officer for the riding, then you receive a package of materials that is given to all candidates for an election. And I'll show you some of that now. So, first of all, you're provided with some maps. Let's pop these open and see what's inside. So these are detailed maps of the riding. You can see they go right down to showing every street, every block. They show the different polling areas in the riding. Anything interesting here that we can show? Nope, this is just all the detailed information about the actual federal riding. And then in this tube, which is wound much more tightly than the others. So, anti-theft mechanism of something. Let's try and get this in. And this is an overall beautifully colored map of the riding, the different polling areas, all this kind of thing that's very, very helpful to have in Canada. In addition, an officially verified federal candidate is provided with a copy of the Elections Act. There's that there, pretty thick. Mine's still in the plastic because I'm reading the electronic copy to leave this intact and see if it's going to be needed for anything else, or if possibly we may even be able to return this and not waste it. Acts can be updated. These are amendments to the Elections Act that you also have to be familiar with if you're going to make sure you follow all the rules. So again, I'm reading that in electronic form. Another thing candidates are provided with is they have the option, at least, of receiving digital maps and documents of this other format. So there's a CD of that, and you, as an official candidate, you receive a copy of the registered voters list. Now that, if you physically print out, is much bigger than the Elections Act. It's a stack of paper probably this big. It's ginormous, so fortunately they do allow you to just go with the digital form on that. That comes in a password protected digital format, clearly labeled authorized use only. That's a very, very carefully guarded type of data, because you would want all the names of all the officially registered voters in an area to be just sold for profit or anything like that. And finally, for the finances of a campaign, to accept official donations, you have to be able to issue tax receipts, you have to be able to record expenses, and that I'm also doing electronically for this campaign, but there are physical receipts that you're issued. Sometimes if you're going to be out away from a computer or something like that, that's a good way to keep track of what's happening, and unused receipts are going to go back to Elections Canada after the election. So that's what we've got there. Finally, there are, I didn't show you before, but as you submit everything, you get official receipts certifying that you've submitted this. This is a receipt for the nomination paper and deposit. Once it was officially verified, I received another official notice of verification. And then I've got a couple of envelopes here. Let's open them up, show you what's inside. So this is just a reminder of some of the official expense limits. If you're a big party, then you might run up against these, but if you're running a campaign in my style very efficiently, you're not going to get anywhere near them. And this is just, some of this has been updated recently, and there's just notices from Elections Canada emphasizing the recent changes. And this is a notice to candidates. I'll read it. If you are elected as a Member of Parliament on the November 29th, 2010 by-election, please contact the House of Commons at, I won't read that phone number, before entering into any type of contract with suppliers. The House of Commons provides Members of Parliament with a variety of equipment and services, and likely has contracts in place for the items and services members may require. If you ever hear in the news of Members of Parliament using parliamentary services to campaign or to send out influential messages to their members of their constituency, this is what they're referring to, is that there are special resources that are available to Members of Parliament. And finally, this is just an official copy of the notice of confirmation of the nomination of this candidate. This is that Elections Canada very carefully went through all that paperwork. When you submit paperwork, Elections Canada has 48 hours to verify it and get it back to you. And within 48 hours, they were able to confirm that I had filled out all the paperwork correctly. So. And this other envelope here is an official invitation to a candidates meeting. There's a chance where all candidates are invited to the returning officer's office to discuss just administrative details, some like the revision process. There's a statement of quality of the list of electors that will warn you about the demographic changes that are happening in the neighborhood. This is just very technical stuff that's of interest to candidates, but not necessarily to the general public. So this isn't anything terribly interesting, but in this case, there's also some details they're going to be giving about the assistive voting device that's being used for disadvantaged electors. That's something that's just coming in to allow variously disadvantaged voters to vote independently without the presence of another individual, which is how that has normally been done in the past. So yeah, there's just an overview giving basic demographic facts of the list of electors, estimations of the number of people who have been deceased, the number of youth and new citizens who have become eligible voters since the list was made, all that type of thing. So that's an overview of the paperwork and the process for becoming an official candidate in a federal election. There's the initial paperwork that you fill out. You have to make sure that you meet the criteria of being eligible for a candidate. You have to receive the endorsement of a party if you're running with a party, and your party will have their individual process for that. And then also, once you've filled out all the paperwork with your official agent, your official auditor, and your signatures of valid electors in the district supporting your candidacy, then you receive this package with all of these materials. So I thought that just might be interesting for people to know and get an inside look at. Take care.